Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I am going to be painting up this dude here. That will be my work tonight. Oh boy. I just went to click open my Spotify and it's just frozen. Yeah, I'm gonna work on this dude, get him all figured out. Should be just a good night of painting. I mean, I don't think I have to do too much other stuff with this. Structurally, he's all there. Alright, I have this little goblin dude up on the left side of the screen. I have him there for like a realism reference. I'm not actually like looking at that to do anything. It's basically there to say, do your best. Look at this sculpture somebody did. This makeup. Get close to that. All right, I'm gonna lock in. Put my headphones on. Let's try and go fast. It won't let me merge all the layers. It's really weird. Hey everybody, sorry I'm quiet, I'm just kind of focused. Maybe, Eric. Using the Dobas pencil brush, is wondering if there's a limit to how small you can go with the brush before it stops functioning properly. I'm finding it hard to do small details. Oh, it's been a while since I really got into that brush. But yeah, I mean, you can play around with it and see what the smallest pixel you can get with it is. But from what I remember, I could go pretty small with it. So I'm not sure. Alright, that was my 2-second question answering. Back in.
It's not human. What does a scatter see? The head. Down in the heart. Does it see me?
Yeah, Nicholas. Most of my brushes go pretty small, so I'm not sure if it would just be the brush, because I'm a detail maniac.
What does a scatter see? It may just be my imagination.
Nope, never run into carpal tunnel, wrist issues. I work out and I stretch and I take breaks. That's about it. You just gotta stay on top of that. You do anything too long without a break, you can mess yourself up. Does this look cool yet? I feel like the rendering is coming together fast. Okay, let me know how the food is.
6 months.
Am I maxing the bench out? Of course I am. Always. Yeah, I'm not listening to the music. I have my own. I'm happy with it so far. Feels like a old school monster manual type of painting. No reason to pretend. I'm just going fast. Just picking stuff and doing values.
So he goes up to this big spaceship, and he's got this portal window, and he's looking out of it, and he sees the curvature of the Earth.
Have I seen the Neural Viz channel? I don't think so. Hey everybody, Darkstorm, King Curse, what's up? This process feels so much more efficient. I feel like all the other ones I was doing on the stream were going so slow. But I'm able to block in a lot of the values this way. And then once I get over into Clip, I can like go in and do more precise rendering, make some areas pop a lot more. And then some more in Krita too. Wizard Gargoyle hybrid. Something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't know this monster from the games. I just like the design of it. It's just weird.
I want you to visualize yourself. Just breathe in and out slowly.
Video or board game? This is from a video game.
In and out slowly.
Old game. Yeah, he's very happy. This reminds me of like the old way I used to render back when I would work on like lots of high fantasy things. I'd kind of just render out the value as much as I could and then go in and tighten up at the end, but spend a lot of time just like noodling around and like building out values and then etching in highlights again, like coming back through the whole image. I think this here is just supposed to be like his like skin ripped open. I'm pretty sure. Like hanging. And then it works as like a tunic design or something. Not sure. It's hard to judge from these tiny concepts on these little cards. You can't really tell what all the little details are. So I do my best. Maybe I'll take some red from his mouth and put it around there. I was just playing through, is it Shadow over Mystara? Shadow of Mystara? I can't remember. I was playing through that with my son on our like arcade that we have in the basement. It's pretty cool. He's big into D&D stuff right now. I mean, he's only 4, but he thinks it's awesome. Yeah, Shadow of Mystara has the best aesthetic for D&D. Well, in terms of like an arcade game. I think I'm just more a fan of that whole era of Capcom. All those designs are really, really good. No, I'm not adding anything to this. I'm just gonna stick to the original design. I'm not trying to add my own thing to these, just going for like the most classic kind of monster manual look for all this stuff. Just as like a fun little side project, so I'm not really gonna be reinventing any of the characters that I do. Unless something like really allows for interpretation. Yeah, 90s Capcom had the best designs. They're just incredibly classic. That art team was just unbelievable. Everything that came through there just was gold. All you wanted was for them to touch everything. You were like, please make something of everything I love. I want your take on it. It wasn't even just the art in terms of the visuals, it was also the music. The music in those games is so good. I see Espadez. I'm not going to give you high hopes for that game. Sure, it's a classic. It's like the original dungeon crawler style game, but it's not incredible. It's fine. Thanks, Alejandro. Any advice for material to study? It's just fundamentals, you know, like I don't want to give you any hope for something else. It's boring stuff, and it's finding creative ways to do boring stuff and do them a lot. Like make a comic, draw a bunch of different figures, draw a million figures fighting, render fight scenes and things, and find ways to build your skill up through something engaging, so that you're actively thinking through what you're doing, and then just be consistent. Like when you look at me and you're saying this looks incredible, I feel like I'm really far away from that. You are really far away from that. You're very far, because I've been doing this literally every single day of my life since, I mean, like professionally for like 20 years now. It's crazy. That's such a long time. So don't compare my 20 years to anything that's going to be like early days, because that's totally unfair to you. Everybody starts where you start. I started from nothing, whatever, just figuring it out. And then you just build and build and build, and you get there eventually. But there's nothing I could tell you at this stage to be like, and now hop right to here. Like, it took me so long. You have to find out, on your own, how to love the process, how to push through, how to study all the time, and look at the light at the end of the tunnel. You can put people like me up in your space as far as like where you work, and be like, that's a goal I'm aiming for. And then you'll always be looking at art from people like me, and then you have some goal, right? That's what I used to do. But you just got to work at it, It doesn't come quick. It's not one of those things. It's just going to take time. And you got to have patience and determination. And don't listen to other people who tell you that there's a secret to getting it down. Like, everybody tries to sell a secret because that's so attractive. It's so attractive to be like, oh, here's a shortcut to the end. I'm going to teach you 7 crazy things that are going to speed you up, like blah, 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 blah. Don't. It's a load of shit. It's just hard work. It's just doing it when it feels bad. It's the same thing as going to a gym, whatever. It's just show up, put in work, actually try, be determined. If you wait for inspiration, you'll never do anything. I don't need to be inspired to do this shit. Like, I get that sounds pretty and flowery and wonderful to do, but like, yeah, really, really don't wait. You'll do nothing if you wait. Like, I get it if you're trying to do something like super meaningful or something really important to you, but like this shit, what I'm doing right here, I don't need to be inspired to do this. I can just do this. I can do this on the worst day. I can do this on the best day. It doesn't really matter to me. I treat it like a job. Like, for real, it's a crapshoot when people are like, it's like a passion of mine. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, it's a passion, but it's hard fucking work. It's really hard. You have to do it constantly. And if there are people in the world that can just wake up and do this, and they can just wait to be inspired and have those, stars in their eyes, like, oh, it's coming to me. Good for them. That's not me. If I want to make a book I know a book is so hard to make. I know writing the story's hard. I know the whole process of making it is hard. So I just go, fuck, I just have to do it. I just have to put in hours and hours and hours. It just has to happen. There's no shortcut to it. There's nothing that's going to make it go by faster. If you want to do it on your own, then you're going to be eating shit. I'm more or less telling you this because I definitely was under the illusion that artists early on in my career, when I was like starting out, I'd see other people. I was under the illusion that it was like easy in some way, or that like it came naturally to other people than it did for me. And thankfully I was able to see enough artists working to go like, oh, everybody's like always trying to figure stuff out, and the best people push over and over and over and are always struggling. It doesn't mean that you're like super negative about your work, but you always see that there's another mountain to climb. So I think about that sort of thing all the time. It's like, I'm never going to be at the top of this. It's not why I do it. I'm doing it because I like doing it. I like the process. I like learning and growing. And if I climbed every mountain, I would just be done. I'd be bored. Like, what's the point? You'd have to understand that, oh, that's not why you're doing it. You're doing it because the whole journey through it's really fun and rewarding. That's what keeps you going. Oh, by the way, if I'm not going to call anybody out, but if for whatever reason this person's here, I happen to be watching like YouTubers who do like art, helpful art things. It's nobody that I think anybody would know, but I heard somebody just like kind of parroting stuff that I had said a while ago in terms of like how to improve. Don't take this the wrong way, anybody, but don't just parrot stuff that you haven't even tried. You don't know that it's good advice or if it actually works for you. I only tell people shit that work for me. I never say like this will work for everybody. That's not always the case, you know. People have different ways of learning. I have a terrible memory. I have to do things like over and over and over again to get things to stick. But occasionally I'll hear something I said like repeated very specifically, so I know it's me, and I'm like, it's from somebody who clearly hasn't done that, and I'm like, don't just tell people that shit. Like, I don't even think I'm right. I'm just telling you what worked for me, but I don't want it to be gospel. I never like the idea of like absolutes. None of this stuff is just this, thing that's going to work for everybody. Everybody's going to find creative ways to really, find their own way in studying. I'm sure that there's certain techniques and things that work better, and maybe in terms of like timing out how you study or what you study or whatever. And I only say what works for me. You can try it and then you can modify it. Go like, yeah, that kind of worked, kind of didn't work, whatever. One of my college stories. I didn't go to college. Would be funny though to hear stories like that. I feel like I've heard like just the I think the advice I hear the most is that I say is like do something a specific amount of times, studying, and then turn the page and then do it from imagination. Which I think that genuinely is like advice that probably works for everybody, just to see how much you held on to. I just realized the music stopped. Wow, Wigglewood. Riley, you crazy. That's true. I was only working on boobs. I was only working on female breasts. That's all I was doing. All right. Don't say stuff like that, Darkstorm. It'll get you banned. You don't want to be banned.
Break it down one time.
All right. This is what we did in this hour. Just went from that to that. I still gotta add like highlights throughout the body and render a bit more, but it's getting there. It's looking more like the little thumbnail, right? The highlights really gonna make it pop. Thanks. Yeah, I feel like it's really chugging. I'm getting closer to that like traditional look that I wanted to have digitally with all this stuff. Like specifically the like shitty kind of 80s look where you can't over render, you know? Just enough. I'm almost at like that old like NES Japanese poster art of like some, you know, crazy robot bug killing game, and then you play the game and you're the little tiny thing, but the art looks all over the top. If I just did that in this style, I think I could get there. I could do that. I could be that guy. Did you watch others paint and draw a lot when you were learning art? No. Back then there weren't, I mean, it's gonna make me old, but there really weren't video tutorials like this. People didn't have like screen recording equipment. so no, I didn't watch people do it like digitally at least.
Miraculous way for us to transcend ordinary reality to maybe an intimation of what's necessary for survival.
The rare times that I did see people working was like way later on while I was already working. This is so stupid.
This experience is so, I think, familiar for a lot of different people, and so easily acquired, and so much information comes with so little effort that it is a kind of a miracle. It's a miraculous way for us to transcend ordinary reality and obtain maybe an intimation of what's necessary for survival.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna call it on this stream. You got pretty far though. From there to there. It's pretty far. Cool. Next one will be probably real close to the finish line. Yeah, it'll be mostly like detailing and rendering out some spots that need to be finished, but overall it's pretty much, I mean, I'm gonna need to paint him so his like outline isn't so harsh. That'll make him look way more real. But so far so good. Nice. Alright. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'll be back around next Thursday, same time. But yeah. Love to you. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you next time. Later, everybody.